Mexico's story begins thousands of years ago, with the rise of complex societies in Mesoamerica. These civilizations flourished in the fertile lands of Mexico long before European contact. Among the earliest were the Olmecs, known for their colossal stone heads and sophisticated understanding of astronomy. The Olmecs left an indelible mark on the region, influencing later cultures like the Maya. The Maya civilization, known for its advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and writing, rose to prominence between 250 and 900 AD. They built impressive cities, with towering pyramids, intricate hieroglyphic writing systems, and advanced calendars. The Maya civilization was not a single empire, but rather a collection of powerful city-states that spread across southeastern Mexico and parts of Central America. Their legacy can still be seen today in the ruins of sites like Chichen Itza and Palenque. The achievements of the Olmecs and Maya laid the foundation for later civilizations, including the Toltecs and eventually the Aztecs. These early cultures demonstrate the intellectual and artistic sophistication of pre-Columbian Mexico. They are a testament to the enduring legacy of Mexico's indigenous past. Their story is one of innovation, adaptation, and cultural brilliance, a vibrant tapestry woven into the fabric of Mexican identity. Around the 14th century, the Aztecs, or Mexica, emerged from the north and established themselves as the dominant power in central Mexico. They built their capital, Tenochtitlán, on an island in Lake Texcoco, expanding their empire through military conquest and alliances. By the 15th century, the Aztec Empire stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean. The Aztecs were skilled warriors and administrators, ruling over a complex society with a rigid social hierarchy, a sophisticated legal system, and a rich religious life. At the heart of their belief system was the worship of Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, to whom they made sacrifices in elaborate ceremonies. However, the Aztec Empire, at its peak, was based on a system of tribute and military control, which created resentment among some of the conquered populations. This internal weakness would prove to be a critical factor in the empire's downfall. In the early 16th century, the arrival of Spanish conquistadors, led by Hernán Cortés, would forever alter the course of Aztec history and the fate of the empire. In 1519, Hernán Cortés and his small army of Spanish conquistadors landed on the coast of Mexico. Driven by ambition and the desire for gold, Cortés forged alliances with indigenous groups eager to overthrow Aztec rule. The Spanish possessed advanced weaponry, including horses, which were unknown in Mesoamerica, and guns, giving them a significant military advantage. Cortés marched on Tenochtitlan, where he was initially welcomed by the Aztec Emperor Montezuma II, who mistook him for a returning god. However, the relationship between the Spanish and the Aztecs quickly deteriorated, culminating in the death of Montezuma and the expulsion of the Spanish from the city. Cortés regrouped, and with the help of his indigenous allies, laid siege to Tenochtitlan. The siege was brutal and protracted, lasting for months. The Aztecs, weakened by disease brought by the Spanish and facing a superior military force, finally succumbed in 1521. The fall of Tenochtitlan marked the end of the Aztec Empire and the beginning of Spanish colonial rule in Mexico.
The Spanish conquest ushered in a new era for Mexico. The conquerors established a colonial system that lasted for 3 centuries, transforming the social, political, and cultural landscape of the region. Cortés claimed the land for Spain, renaming it New Spain and establishing a hierarchical society with Spaniards at the top. The colonial period witnessed the widespread conversion of indigenous populations to Catholicism, often through forced conversions and the destruction of native temples. The Spanish introduced new crops and livestock, transforming the agricultural practices of the region. Large haciendas, vast estates controlled by Spanish elites, became central to the colonial economy. The fusion of Spanish and indigenous cultures gave rise to a unique and vibrant Mexican identity. The Spanish language became dominant, but it incorporated indigenous words and phrases. New forms of art, music, and literature emerged, blending European traditions with indigenous themes and aesthetics. However, colonial rule was also marked by exploitation, disease, and the suppression of indigenous cultures. The seeds of resentment sown during this period would eventually lead to the struggle for independence.
By the late 18th century, discontent with Spanish rule was growing among the Mexican population. Inspired by Enlightenment ideals and fueled by resentment of Spanish economic policies and social inequalities, a movement for independence began to take shape. In 1810, a parish priest named Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla ignited the flames of rebellion with his famous Grito de Dolores, a call to arms that resonated with the grievances of the Mexican people. Hidalgo's call to arms mobilized the masses, particularly the indigenous and mestizo populations, who had borne the brunt of colonial oppression. Though Hidalgo was captured and executed in 1811, his uprising marked a turning point in the struggle for independence. Other leaders, such as José María Morelos and Vicente Guerrero, took up the mantle of revolution, continuing the fight for liberation. After more than a decade of conflict, Mexico finally achieved its independence from Spain in 1821.